a lot of people don't understand a lot about what a Mormon mission is.
Yeah.
You know, like I mean, obviously one of the things that missionaries do is they'll knock on doors or they'll stop people in the street and they'll try to share, you know, beliefs with people, right? But you know, it's funny because you're in a location or an area for 2 years, and during those 2 years, you're transferred around to different areas within that location.
Wow.
So my area was kind of Western Japan, and the actual like mission headquarters was in Okayama, which Okayama is kind of known for, like, I guess, peaches. Which is funny because Georgia's known for peaches, you know, and that's where I'm from, but that's where I ended up getting called to.
Move into the country.
Yeah, and it is really, like, it's funny because Okayama's really, you know, and I mean this in a good way, but Okayama's kind of out in the boondocks, you know, but I really liked it. But it's funny because, I mean, you end up being able to go to these places that you would never choose yourself. You know, it's like if I were living in America and I was just like, you know what, I think I want to move to Japan for a year, you probably wouldn't choose somewhere like Okayama.
Right.
You know, you would choose Tokyo, or you choose Osaka, or you choose Kyoto. You know, you choose probably more famous places.
Well, and also it has to be said that with what happened in the war, you know, naturally, if you're coming from another country, and it landing in one, I would personally go, I don't know what I'd expect in that town.
Right.
I might go to Tokyo instead.
Right.
You know?
Well, yeah, I mean, there was definitely some of that where it's like, man, I wonder what that'll be like.
Yeah.
But it was funny because being in Hiroshima, I mean, the people in Hiroshima are amazing.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, it's one of those things where you think, man, if somebody dropped an atomic bomb on us, I'd be surprised if we could be as forgiving.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, yeah.
But it's amazing. They're just like, oh, yeah, Americans, come on. You know, you're cool. You know, and it was really awesome. I mean, I never felt like somebody was like, oh, you're an American, screw you. I mean, there was never anything like that. You know,
it's well known for it, isn't it?
Well, yeah. And I mean, you know, of course, that's one of the amazing things about Japan in general is everyone's very polite. You know, and all those sorts of things. But yeah, I mean, it was really cool being able to go around because during those 2 years, I mean, I was able to live in Tottori, which I was in a city called Kurayoshi, and it's kind of up on the Japan Sea. And even though it's in Western Japan, I was there for the winter, and so you get those Siberian snows coming down. And so, I mean, it snowed a ton.
Right.
But, you know, once again, I think Kurayoshi had a population of, I mean, it's something like 50,000, you know, so a very small little city. And once again, it's one of those places where, you know, you would never say, hey, I want to live in Japan for a year. I'm going to go live in a 50,000 person town.
Yeah.
Does
it snow in Georgia?
I mean, sometimes, but it was nothing like that, you know. But I mean, it's just cool because you go there and you meet all these just amazing people, and you're like, man, wow, this is such a cool little town.
Different pace.
Yeah, different pace. I mean, and it's cool because then I went from there to Hiroshima. I went to a place called Kure, and that's where the Japanese self-defense force, I think they have a naval base there.
Yep.
And so we got to go on a Japanese, you know, destroyer, and, you know, we got to kind of look around in that. I mean, and it was kind of cool too because Hiroshima is a cool city, you know, and so just getting to go there, and then I went from there down to Shikoku.
Hey, were you playing games in these 2 years?
No.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah,
okay.
No, so no games, totally away from that.
Yep.
But what's crazy too is, and most people, you know, unless you've ever left the main island of Honshu in Japan, you know, it's hard to explain, but as soon as you leave Honshu, like as soon as you get to Shikoku, you immediately know you're not on Honshu anymore.
Really?
Yeah, like there's just something tangibly different about that island. Wow. But once again, amazing place. Right. You know, so I lived in Kochi down there, and Kochi is the bottom prefecture on Shikoku, and then I went up to Tokushima. And Tokushima's awesome too. I mean, so, you know, I've gotten to live in all these different places. And then from Tokushima, I went back to Okayama. And then from Okayama, I went to Yamaguchi, which Yamaguchi's the very edge, you know, of Honshu, the western edge. And so, in my 2 years, I got to live all these different places in Western Japan.
And meanwhile, you're knocking on doors.
Yeah, you're knocking on doors. You're stopping people on the street. It just kind of depends.
Well, every now and then I ride a bicycle. On the Gold Coast, and when you don't ride a bike and you get in a car. Okay, I'm saying this, Tommy. Yeah. But you don't pick up any feeling from what's going on in the street.
Right.
But if you were to knock on doors and actually knock on people, you can smell what they're cooking.
Oh, yeah.
You can hear their conversations, whether there's an argument. There's generally not in Japan. But so you would have to go to all these little prefectures everywhere.
And what's insane about it, because, this obviously isn't a normal thing in Tokyo, but out in the country, people, even when they leave their doors open and unlocked. Yeah. And so, whereas, normally you think, okay, a missionary knocks on a door, right? Well, in out in the country in Japan, you actually will slide the door open and kind of stick your head in and say, "Hey, is anybody home?" Like you kind of do that, and then if they answer, then you might start talking to them. If they don't answer, they're not home. You close the door and you go on. Wow. But it's it was crazy because it's like,
because you're walking the street, you can generally get a feel.
Totally.
That's safe here or something.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah. I'm completely safe. I mean that's the other thing about Japan for anybody who's never been to Japan. I mean, even walking around the streets of Tokyo. Like I'll go for walks late at night and stuff, but there's never a time when I'm like, oh no, I'm going to get mugged.
Never.
Because it's like, what are they going to mug me with?
Yeah. And even like they drink hard here.
Oh yeah.
Like really hard. So you could be there on a Friday night and you could look around and go, wow, everyone here is hammered.
Oh yeah. And everybody is.
There's never a feeling. It's always a feeling of slapstick comedy.
Yeah. It's like, woo, yeah. I'm wearing my necktie around my head like a bandana or something. Yeah. So yeah.
It's really cool for that. I'm just flipping out. So did you have Mormon friends that went to another country?
Yeah. So one of my really good friends, actually a few of them. I mean, my brother went to Phoenix, Arizona, so he was actually within the U.S. But like one of my good friends,
he didn't really try.
Yeah. But see, that's the funny thing is you don't get to choose where you go.
Oh wow!
So
lucky you, eh?
Yeah. Well, is
it luck or is it?
See, exactly, and that's why to me it feels like it was kind of meant to be, right? But like, one of my good friends, he went to Brazil. Another friend went to Venezuela. Okay. So different people. One of my cousins went to South America as well. So I mean, people are going kind of other places. I knew some people that went to Russia, the Ukraine. Kind of all over the place. So
I think you got the best straw there.
I kind of agree. I kind of agree. It's one of those things where it's like, Japan.
Some of those Brazilian girls.
Oh, well, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. So no, I mean it was all fun. Did
you go back home and then you did your?
No. I mean, basically, while you're on your mission, you're there. You're there for the 2 years. So and you actually
do some people struggle.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously, some people get homesick. Some people deal with it better than others. You
could be in a. I don't know nothing about the Russian culture or Ukraine at all.
Yeah,
they could feel like they're rude by nature. We know, and I know,
no, exactly,
that the Japanese they have a culture of showing patience and courtesy up front. It's number one.
Right, totally.
And Australians are opposite. We're kind of wild. We'll say exactly what we feel. What are you doing here, mate?
Totally. Americans are the same way. And I mean, I think it depends what part of America you're from. I mean, this is me speaking as a Southerner. Yeah. Because in the South, it's that Southern hospitality.
Yeah, of course.
You smile to people you don't know. Everybody's nice to each other and that sort of thing. And it's always, running joke in the South that anybody from the North, which, this is a funny thing talking to people from other countries because, in the South, sometimes jokingly, we call Northerners Yankees, right? Yeah. So, but outside of America, all Americans are Yankees, basically, like to Brits and other people. Yeah. So it's always kind of funny because it's like, well, actually in the U.S., I mean, normally kind of the Northeast, New York people, around there. They're
just
the
like
Yankees,
my wife from Yokosuka thinks
Yeah.
of people in Osaka as being, they talk different. And,
Right.
But you're Japanese.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
are, can't spot the difference.
Yeah.
But I guess American culture is so big in the movies.
Yeah,
that we can
yeah.
all pick a southern accent. Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Hey, tell me a famous, someone I might know from Georgia.
From Georgia?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, let's see. From Georgia, somebody famous. There are a lot of musicians from Georgia.
Yeah. Anyone off the top of your...
Well, I mean, like a lot of R&B musicians actually, like TLC. Right. There's gosh, of course, when you ask, I forget.
Yeah.
But, that's what I say. Well, this dude's from Georgia. But
just say Matthew McConaughey. I wouldn't even know.
Well, Matthew McConaughey's from Texas, but he's definitely.
How far away is that?
Texas is like Midwest, so it's
right.
It's a decent distance.
Are you? Forgive me. Are you the eastern side?
Yeah, East Coast.
So you're Florida.
Yeah. So Georgia's right above Florida. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So right smack there in the southeast.
Well, do you have any of those wacko? There's a great thing to follow on Twitter. I don't even really follow Twitter anymore. But
what?
Florida Man.
No. What?
Every day there's some sort of crazy.
Crazy whack job in Florida doing something.
A Florida man was caught today naked in the street, methed up on his,
Yeah, there are plenty of those throughout the South, I would think.
Yeah. It's a different part of the world for me.
Yeah, it is. It's a different part of the world for even a lot of people in America. If you're coming from California or you're coming from up north, if you come down to the South, it's like you almost feel like you're in another country. A lot of people say that. And, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, because don't get me wrong. I actually go to California a couple times a year for game business. Right. And, it's normally San Francisco and LA, and I like visiting San Francisco and LA, but, kind of the operative word is visiting.
Yeah, of course.
It's nice. It's nice for a week, maybe 2 weeks, and then I'm kind of like, okay, I got to get the hell out of here. Part of that too, though, is just that Tokyo is so awesome.
Right.
Japan's an awesome place, and Tokyo's awesome. So it's like, and to me, Tokyo's home because I've been here for so long. Pretty much my whole adult life, I've lived in Japan. So
amazing.
For me, it's funny. Yeah, it's like I'm ready to get home, and they're like, to Georgia? No, Tokyo. And they're like, what?
Which makes you living in Georgia even more amazing that you're in Tokyo. Because fair enough if you were in California, because you're nearest, if you point out the water, there's Japan somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
There. So it's like moving to Romania. It's nowhere near where you're from.
Oh no, nowhere at all. You don't meet a lot of people in Japan from the South.
Yeah.
But it's funny. I actually know one other guy here in Tokyo that's from Atlanta too. And it's funny. We ran into each other. And we're both in the game industry. So it's crazy because it's like, oh wow, okay, well that's cool. So then when we meet up, we can talk, about the Falcons or NFL football. We can talk about stuff. But it's always funny.
NFL football. There's a really good. I wish I knew what team he was in. But it's big news for us in Australia. There's a guy called Jared Hayne.
Yeah, I think I heard something about an Australia. Is it a rugby player?
No, yeah. Rugby league player.
Yeah, rugby league.
Yeah. And, he had a great weekend, just the great last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
He hasn't actually been chosen yet, but they're pretty much choosing him right now for the team. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, there's this big play reel of what he did in these couple of games.
Right.
And the whole country is going, yeah!
We got us an NFL player. That's awesome.
He's from the worst suburb.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, in Sydney. He's from this place called Minto. It's just a dive. Do you have these? It's pretty much like council high-rises that are built by the government to put the people who are struggling.
Right.
There. I drove there a few times delivering as a courier.
Yeah,
It was frightening else here. So, I only just found that out, but that's cool, man.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, well, tell me, back to what you do.
Yeah, sure.
Why I'm interested is because, like I said to you off before we started recording.
Yeah.
That for 3 years or something, I was staring at this computer here going,
yeah.
I'm interested